it, obviously.
So here is the top 25. Georgia, we have suggested that maybe they're bored. Ask Kentucky if Georgia is bored.
Not anymore.
They devoured them. It was not close. They devoured Kentucky, and Kentucky's a pretty damn good football team and solid that doesn't beat themselves. But Georgia, they all of a sudden got hungry, and they just crushed, again, the Wildcats. Michigan remains just hammered Minnesota. Ohio State early on against Maryland, a little shaky, but they win. There's Florida State bumping up a notch, and then Oklahoma basically almost flips positions where UT not quite as low as OU was at 12. OU now 5. Then Penn State and 7 and 8 played each other. This week, we'll have a note on that. Texas at 9 and USC escaped with their lives. Late Saturday night against Arizona. And then Bama just kind of sitting out there doing their thing. And Louisville jumps up to 14. And then you see the rest of the top 25. Kansas remains inside the top 25 at 23.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley continues to have a problem on defense, and they had to come back in that game too.
Oh, I know.
They were down a bunch, and that was a Caleb Williams special. On the comeback, and the defense made the play when they had to. But that's 2 weeks in a row where their defense has been completely, kind of just off the stick, and nothing's really changed for Lincoln Riley. He's got to address that if he wants to, win a conference in the Pac-12, much less or in the Big Ten next year. Now, if he's gonna really win titles, they've got to do something about tackling the guys in front of them more often than not.
Yeah, I mean, he's been able to maneuver through it pretty okay up until this point, but to win bigger championships than conferences, yeah, you're right. He's going to have a more shored-up defense, and it might cost them a Pac-12 title this year. It very well might, because they are not the best-looking team. They're not even the second best-looking team, or maybe even the third best-looking team. Offensively, obviously, that's a different story, but overall, yeah, there's still a major issue there. I don't know what you do mid-season. I know that it's got a lot of USC fans up in arms and worried a bit about the trajectory of where they're heading, particularly on that side of the ball, and how that's going to hurt them potentially overall. So, yeah, that's just – I mean, if I was him, I would just be so annoyed by the fact that remains a thing at this point of, like, when do you just finally have enough of hearing, I know you don't listen to the outside chatter, but at some point it was like Iowa. It's like at some point, like, you have to do something, right? Or are we just doing Groundhog Day? Because, I mean, how long do you want to keep going on, and how many times do you need that defense to fall on its face before you go, you know what, you guys are right. Alex Grinch may not be the guy. Like, I mean, what is it going to take? Is it going to take them losing a spot in the playoff or losing the Pac-12 championship game to somebody because of their defense? I don't know, but it's maddening if you're a Lincoln Riley fan who's followed him from stop to stop, because it's Groundhog Day, like I said. And, yeah, that defense is going to probably cost them at some point, but I'll tell you what, if it doesn't, it will be because of that superstar quarterback who is just an amazing football player, Patrick Mahomes-esque, and just the way he has an ability to make something out of nothing or make things happen that you don't feel like you've ever really seen all that often, if ever, on a football field. So, yeah, he's incredibly special, and because of that, they'll always have a chance. But because of that defense, yeah, they're not as good as they should be, and that's going to continue to be a negative with that team overall in their profile.
All right, we have